Well, the other day, James Gunn got fans a-buzzing when he suggested that some of those Guardians of the Galaxy cast members could come over to DC. Since then, we've gotten a lot of clarification and news from Gunn himself, so let's dive into that for a couple of minutes and talk about what's really going on behind the scenes. Now, James Gunn has played a very active role in talking directly to fans about his plans for the new DCU, and as of today, January 24th, we still don't have the full plan revealed. We know there's going to be a lot of recasting, and when James Gunn suggested some of those Guardians actors could come over, it really created a lot of buzz. I think this was a bit overblown, because I don't actually think Gunn intends on simply stealing some of Marvel's actors over to the DCU. He has made several responses to fans, and they really do give us a clearer picture on what he intends with these castings and why he said this about the Guardian actors. In one response, he actually said, "We have hundreds of roles to cast. As I've always done, some will be brand new faces, some will be actors I've worked with before, and some will be actors you know who I've never worked with. What matters most is the actor fits the role and they're easy to work with." Now, I think Gunn gave some major clues here, because that's the biggie. Easy to work with. Something as fans we rarely get a glimpse into, but can derail almost any project, is how the castings definitely work with the production team. Gunn clearly likes to work with the people who become friends, and I'm sure that will be the goal for him in the new DCU. Does this mean lots of Guardians are going to come over to the DCU? Maybe, but not for sure. Dave Bautista has pined for a while to play Bane, and a lot of fans love that idea, but when this news came out, they started fan casting Chris Pratt for all kinds of roles. Now, I think Pratt is a good example of this because I don't know how he fits into the DCU, but I'm sure Gunn has a better idea. Pratt's 43 years old, and the new Superman is likely to be in his 20s, so we probably should keep that in mind when we're talking about some of these Guardians moving over to the DCU, more than likely in supporting roles, or roles that could hide their age like behind makeup or CGI. I could totally see Chris Pratt taking up a role in the DCU, maybe a Lantern like Guy Gardner or even voicing Kilowog, but for me the oddest choice that would take him way out on a limb would be Perry White. Now, Gunn did have a very interesting conversation though with award-winning comic writer Kurt Busiek. I'm going to start running these tweets here in the background, but basically we can summarize what's going on pretty easy. As this conversation goes back and forth, it becomes very, very clear that James Gunn fully understands and might even be down for multiple versions of characters within their overall storytelling environment. Now, they do talk a little bit about the specific challenges that come with doing this and how some fans almost become instantly confused. It makes it pretty clear to me that this is the balance Gunn is trying to strike right now, making his new DCU 10-year plan. These castings will be so big, and over the last week or two, it's become clear it's going to be somewhat of a mix, especially with that recent news from Jason Momoa and him stating he's staying on as Aquaman, but the speculation that he's also playing Lobo and the teases from him he'll be playing other characters pretty much give us an idea that I think Gunn is going to be very flexible in how he casts several of these roles. It's pretty clear to me we're headed for some sort of soft or semi-hard reboot of the DCU, keeping some familiar faces that work and then moving on from others to fit the story. I think Gunn saying people easy to work with is a thing we should all look to. You've probably noticed when we get pictures of him on set during production, everybody looks to be having quite a good time. I think this is the environment Gunn wants to foster, and I do truly believe that when actors and crew are having a great time doing their project, it totally shows in the work, so it's absolutely the right path for Gunn to take right now. Now, the 10-year plan is going to come out within 7 days. Gunn has said this January, so keep your eyes peeled because we're going to get a lot of news soon. I do suspect we're going to get a Superman and Wonder Woman movie. My other choice is Black Canary and Green Arrow, and maybe even a Batman project, possibly on HBO Max, bringing the new DCU Batman to life in his full glory in a series. But we'll have to wait and see.